Alright guys, this is gonna be probably like a slightly sour note, I guess. So I'm just gonna go straight into it, no intro. I don't know if you guys know how Discord works. Discord works that when someone pings your name, they at me in Discord. It lets me know, like usually through here, that someone is trying to get my attention to a certain degree. Because I have a full-time job and because I work, I don't get to see them all the time. But I usually try to find them unless it's like too far gone or too far up. So I go into my Discord and it says, you know, if you want my account, it's all yours. And I'm like, what? First of all, and I responded to him as well. I was like, I don't need 2 accounts. I can only, these games are enough torture as it is. That's why I decided not to go back to Epic 7. Epic 7 just had a really good, they just dropped 2 cool little characters and I was like, maybe I should go back and play. And I was like, no, I don't feel like doing that again. And same thing with 7 Deadly Sins. Really like those 2 games, but they don't really mesh well with my YouTube channel, my algorithm, and all that magical stuff. So I just decided not to do it. So even worse, I don't have no ambition to have 2 separate accounts. Of course, the whole point of the video, you guys should know, has to do with string of creation. Is a guy here, he's saying that he wants to give up his account. This is a small picture of his account. He has FC, Bailey, Maggie, and Rara. So he has 3 First Guardians. He has FC Tantalo, he has Rachel, he has Iris, who he's clearly preparing to bring up probably for the new thing, or maybe he already had it because Iris is, I think, is part of Special Dungeons. He has Bernadette, well, we all have Bernadette technically now, FC Mahar, Garth, and you can even see the little skimmerings down here. He has more faded characters. Some of his characters are higher rated than some of mine currently in the game. So in my opinion, oh yeah, and this is FC Emma. Her S2 does a boatload of damage. I think it's like 525. Base attack is ridiculous. But the problem is that he got burned on a string. This is his exact message. 20k ZEUZ saved for a whole month. Dumped everything on the string Bathory. Nothing. I don't know how much time I lost. Like, I don't want to play anymore. Fuck luck games. Fuck whoever makes you think they are okay. Gotcha my ass. Now this is very important. The reason why I want to bring this up is not to shit on him or anything like that. And I hope when he sees this video, he doesn't think that way. I actually feel very bad for him. But the only thing that I do want to say here is that, one, that's the reason why I've always said that we should be able to pity 2 gold fake cores within a month, because if you do the math, and I kind of wanted to showcase the math in game, right? It's funny, it's crazy because I really wanted to do a video on string of creation, and I did all the math, and I was like, oh man, it only costs this much to do a faded to fill out a string. And then I see people in my Discord talking about faded, talking about string of creation, and it's like, oh, so everyone already knows the number. I thought, for some reason, I thought no one knew how much it was because it was like too hard of math. But yeah, every single string of creation in here is 500 summons. So if you count up the 3 here, you count up all these, you count up all that, it's 500. You divide 500 by 10, because if I go back to my Rudley thing, it's 10. It's obviously going to be 50. You need to do 50 summons. 50 times 700 is 35,000, sorry, ZEUZ that you need to save up. So I currently have 20 because I'm saving up as well. Ooh, I don't like this banner, and I'm probably not going to spend on Digas. I might throw 1. I think I tell you guys, if I like a thing, I'll throw 1 at it, but I'm not going to throw, you know, any more than that. Or maybe I'll do 2 just for my fate mileage, you know. 2 is going to be 1400, and that's really not going to break me. And then throughout the week, I'll probably get back up and I should be fine. So I'll throw probably 2, get my fate mileages, and then kind of call it a day. But when you're going on a string of creation, you have to be mindful that you are looking possibly to do a 35,000 pull. And also, if you look here, these are all the fadeds and the legendaries in here are in this row right here, and I counted those up as well. I got my little sheet right here. It's 45. No matter which number you have it here, is 45. I think the only time it's ever higher is in this banner, where it's actually 46, because Line Games was like, hey buddy, we'll take this one. We'll take this one here. Usually it's 17 across the board. You can see 17. So, oh look, they have another one, 16. Like they helped you out a little bit there on certain banners where it's slightly higher, but it's usually 45 or 46 here. The fadeds look to be from 8 to 12. So there's usually 8 to 12 fadeds depending on the banner. Like Rachel's string is actually really good because it has a high amount of fadeds in it, and then fadeds are pretty good that are actually in there. But when you're going into the string and you want 1 individual character out of 500, and you have to be I feel like that's the issue that I think that some people have, is that when they're going into the string, they're hoping to luck out. And if you happen to luck out, you think that the game is good. I actually was making fun of it in my last video of the update video, that people make fun of it like, well, this game's really good. If someone, let's say those 3 summons, you get 3 days of free summons, right? And you actually get out ahead, right? Some people will start saying, oh, this game's really good. I out of the 3 summons, I got blah blah blah, I got all these golds and this, that, and the third, and this game's pretty good. Versus the person that gets nothing, because it's free, they'll probably not feel as jaded, but they'll probably be like, damn, I wish I got as much as some of these other people. They'll feel upset, they'll feel envious that they didn't get as good as what other people got. But my issue though is that you can't go into the string expecting to get it early, like in a realistic manner. I don't know how many pulls I've done on this banner, my actual FC Rudley, because I wanted to get FC Rudley because I started off the game with Rudley. So I thought like, oh, you know, let me get his FC. Before we really knew how great FCs are and how important they are, I feel like no one really cared. It was just like, technically I should have just went to another one because I already had Rudley. That's how it looked like, oh, you already have the character, you don't really need to go for the FC. But now it's like, yo, get the FC if you can. Or I should have technically went on Bathory's, because I definitely spent a decent amount of ZEUZ on this banner. So, you know, now it's kind of hard knowing everything. I mean, I would definitely like to get the new Annie, get this Annie, and then possibly get him. It would actually benefit me greatly to start whittling this one down and hoping to luck out here. But I don't think that when you get a bad spell of luck, you should want to quit the game. I think it's very important to be realistic with when you're playing these games. Be very realistic, and this is the argument that a lot of people bring to me. And though not that I want to say like you should be able to get every character in the game. I do believe in that. But I also am very aware that that is not the case in the game. It's like, that's not what you currently can do. You can't currently get every character in the game. Though I wish that there was games that are based on that. And I really want to talk about Dragon Blaze. I just saw a video from FG3000 where they gave away 100 really high rated characters, because I think they're introducing another version, like another tier above it, so that this would be like, instead of fake cores, they went like fake core extreme or something like that. And so they decided to give away all the current fake cores in the game. I'm just trying to make it an equivalent comparison. So like, that would be awesome, right? A lot of people would love to get behind. I specifically would get behind that, because it would allow everyone to get the base, or even if they didn't give the FCs away, just gave all the characters in the game and said, well, the FCs are a beast, you have to work for that. I would love that. I would love that in this game. I would love that in all gacha games. But you have to be realistic when you get into these games, that if the model does not benefit you to, if the model does not say that you're gonna get every character, you have to recognize that and move accordingly to that. I really want to make that a thing, because I really feel bad for Arson, because I do feel like he had like not emotional breakdown. I don't want to go that far, but he definitely was very agitated. He was willing to give away technically a lot of hard work. These games are hard work. There's a lot of time and dedication, and he felt that just because he couldn't get Bathory, like, guys, we know how strong this character is. Bathory is like dumbass strong, and I'll even give the game credit. They don't really highlight Bathory like that. They haven't put her on a banner. They haven't put like, there's a string, but her string is with all the other generals. So it's like, yes, she's the best character, but in essence of that, like, the game hasn't really like forced you into Bathory. She's just a really good character. You know, if that's the way you want to say she's forced, she's just a really meta character. You see her all the time, you know how strong she is. But his account, in my opinion, is very strong. He doesn't necessarily need Bathory. It would definitely help his account. It would help my account. I don't have Bathory either, but I don't feel jaded not having her. I might be annoyed that she pops up so often. I wish that she wasn't that popular. I wish there was more variety in the meta, that someone using Bathory has to invest more into that concept, and there is a way to break it that they can't just easily, there's a way to counteract it so that they can't just easily throw Bathory on a team and it's like brain dead. Like, Bathory just kind of works in a lot of situations. There's no way currently that Bathory is a bad idea. Like, there's nothing in the game that's like, oh, I got screwed because of that. Like, there's nothing, and I think that's the problem. That's why they nerfed First Guardian for. They nerfed First Guardian because it was so brain dead and it was so stupid, and you can summon for it, so it was a little bit more of a immediate thing. Tranquil is not an immediate problem. It's I think a long-term problem. I think that's eventually they're gonna have to have something that can interact with passives, and that's what I said before. They should, that you can lose Tranquil by getting your attack lowered, like lowering certain people's attack. Like, if you lower Bathory's attack, then the Tranquil won't work on certain units because now their attack are higher than hers. Stuff like that I think would be a swift change. It will change the meta like crazy, and it will make people that use Bathory have to then maybe run Cleanser or some sort, like something, you know, like what is it? Yeah, it's Cleanse, literally called Cleanse, to run this to take away a debuff, that so they would have to make it a little bit harder. Now this has nothing, again, I'm just going on a tangent of just making it so when a person comes in and they see a character that is rated that highly, and there's a way to get it, and you have to. And another point that I wanted to make is that, do the strings really bring out free to play? Now I'm gonna go back to the string real quick. Now I've been told over and over and over again that the strings are whales. It's for whales. It's not viable for people for free to plays to go into this. Even though, as you can see, if you start saving for a month or a bit, you can really reliably go on this. You could luck out, absolutely, but it will take you probably about a month and a half or 2 months to go onto a string and get everything within the string and then get out of it, right? And I just realized he has FC Ammo because he was streaming on here, so he got FC Ammo, and I think he also had this guy, so he just didn't get what he was going in there for. That kind of makes the game slightly more free to play. You would have to argue that. I would argue that, because it made me think about it too. Because in 26 days, it's been almost a month, right? It's been a month of the game being out, and now you're going to be able to get Xeon, you're going to be able to get Anna, you're going to be able to get Bailey, as long as you have saved up 35k. Now they do need to bring back the lab, they do need to bring in and increase the ZEUZ. I've been saying this for so long, and I don't understand why I get kickback, but increase the amount of ZEUZ. I think people should be able to reliably go on strings to get these characters, to increase their account, so that we can start having actual balance. Is Bathory broken? Is she? Is Bathory broken? Can we consensually say that she's broken, or is she just really good, or is it the lack of people being able to have the units that counter her? You know, if you could actually get Heart Strike on her, what does she do? I mean, it's very hard to, because she has low HP and there's other tanky targets. Are there other are they gonna have to bring in more characters or other FCs to nerf that? Things of that nature. Like the Summer's Blessing doesn't really, we all know that doesn't really nerf her or do anything. Her nuke is still gonna nuke. We all know that that's gonna happen, so that doesn't really counter her. It allows you to counter cleave her, but if there's First Guardians, and since they have Tranquil, they're still gonna be able to burst through you. So I think that it's very interesting that, you know, not having to go to the pity on a string is, you know, frustrating. I mean, of course it's frustrating, because the bottom half here, I got it right down here, baby, got it written down, is 452. This bottom row is 452. Usually, I obviously give or take, depending on if they're doing like this, where it's slightly one off or something like that. It's still 400. We didn't even know that they were gonna constantly kind of do stuff like this. And I don't think that they've said, unless you say that you're finished with the banner, like if I said I was finished right here, that the banner would actually go away, then I wouldn't have the ability to get FC Rudley. But if you were to think conceptually that you can pretty much, I can eventually get Rachel, I can eventually get Bathory, FC Rudley, Garth, Jafrakin, Jin, like I can eventually get all these characters. Only issue would be how long it takes. And you can argue with me on that, I guess, if you feel like it. But I do think the string is something we should maybe look into as a way to make the game more free to play, and not have it as such a frustrating experience when someone goes onto a string. Like I don't know, I feel like torn, and that's why it's not me trying to say that the string is bad. I actually think the strings are really good, and I feel like it sucks to have someone say I went on a string and now I'm frustrated when they didn't follow the rules. Like when you go on here, you know the rules, 19 or don't go. If you're going less than 19, then you're trying to use pure luck, and your luck is not in your favor. You're trying that 1% chance, and then even within that 1% chance, it is not isolated, as we can see by the blue and the golds here. It is not isolated to that one unit. This is a change that Epic 7 made, that when you get the sparkle, it's exactly what you came for, and then you're done. It resets the mileage, and you're gone. You can argue that they should do that here. I think that it's a little weird, but then also those people that summon multiple different fake cores, like I can summon right now and get FC Rara. Would I complain about that? No. But I also could see if someone really wanted FC Scarlet or the Burnavis, and then they get their summoning and they see the animation, they're so happy, and it's not what they want. And I also see that too. What do you guys think? This is a conversation I think that we really need to have, and it's very important because going forward, it's how the game's gonna play out. How are we going to decide how the summoning stuff works? Because I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of people like Arson. I believe that there's more people like Arson that really want a unit. The unit becomes popular. Like if the Bang It family were to become super popular, super duper popular, I made videos on it, a bunch of creators make videos on it, show it, prove it, that if you don't have a Bang on your team, you're gonna fucking lose. It beats out everything. It's the best thing in the world. Heart Strike, they make it a buff, and then Heart Strike applies to everyone. All of a sudden, this guy becomes the fucking demigod, right? Because he has an AoE move, and then everyone becomes blind. They could do that. They could literally do that. Or they change Heart Strike to go to the character with the highest attack instead of the character with the highest HP. Small change, but completely fucks Bathory. In an instant, Bathory's fucked. Literally 2 seconds, she's fucked. Now your Bathory's doo-doo butter, and a lot of people will probably get pissed because people would consider that a bait and switch. You hyped up this character, I invested into this character, and now the character's shit. Same thing some people might feel with First Guardians, but they did a really good job balancing them. So most people have not, I haven't heard anyone say, I feel like my First Guardians are shit now. No one's ever said that. Not to me, not to anyone I know. But you have to be really careful with stuff like that. Same thing. Some people summon on these strings, go summon here, and they get the character, and now all the investment that they put on the string was useless. Like, we really have to I do think that the strings do need to change in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. I just don't know how to do it, because if you do it like Blue Baraka, where they don't pop up on strings, right? Like you can't get it in a string. So it's something that you'll only have to luck out and get here. Oh, I got Blue Baraka. Like how I got it? That's cool, but do you then want to take out those characters from being randomly summoned and then only have them on the string? I think if you do that, then you have to lower the amount that the string has. I don't know. It's very intricate, and I hope that this sparks a big discussion. This is MFO, of course, but I didn't want to put it under the MFO tag because it's more or less of a very open discussion. It's not me like just stating my opinion, but it's me bringing up a situation that happened that I really want the community to really see and really think and engage upon about the string of creation and, you know, its properties, like what it's meant to do in the game. Is it meant for whales? If you guys think it's meant for whales, do you think it's meant for free to play to be able to save? Now, this is where I think that remember I said that, you know, acquiring, being able to summon on a banner, you should be able to do 2 or 3 of these. Yeah, okay. But let's say you want to skip that. I think that should synergize with the string. That it should be like I skipped 2 or 3 manners to summon on a string, and I should be rewarded for it by being able to finish the string. But that's not the case currently. So you skip 2, 3, 4, 5 banner, like even higher than that because they're dropping one every week, and you just feel like you're jaded. As his quotes were, I don't know how much time I lost. That hurts to hear someone say that. I don't know how much time I lost. I don't know how bad my investment is. Even though technically he's eventually going to get Bathory, he's eventually going to get the best unit in the game. It's, yeah, you didn't get it when you first went in there because you happened to go below the pity. If he would have did it with 35k, he would have eventually got Bathory. He probably would have had a higher outlook on his investment and would have said, hey, I threw 35k in the drain, but I got Bathory. But he went lower, maybe because he didn't know the math behind it, and the game doesn't tell you the math behind it. Arson, hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. I don't think you should quit. Your account looks phenomenal. Your account looks better than mine. I think you should just keep pushing, re-up. If you need to, skip all the summer blessing characters. Oh well, they're gonna come out in like a month, another month. As we can see, that is the trend that they're showing. It's gonna come out in a month or so, or they'll let you know, and then the summer characters come out, and then you can actually, which is even slightly better, you now get the choice of seeing what characters are good. Like for this, I think that Rara is a god, so I can actually fathomably say, now that I've seen all the characters, I can specifically target out the banner that's gonna have Rara on it, which will be Rara, Maggie, Ramsey. That's a pretty fucking good banner. I'll get all 3 of those plus a couple fadeds along the way, and I'll be sitting pretty. I now can see that instead of it being, oh, FC Rare is good, but maybe I'll wait until the next one, and then the next one was like Baraka or whatever, and it's like, wait, what? So I don't know. There's benefits to a lot of things here. Let me know in the comment section again what you guys think. I know the video's all over the place. It's more of a non-scripted, which I don't script anything really, but it's a very discussion, just heavy bass and just me kind of just all over the place. I do apologize if it seems very random. I'm going to try my best to edit it. 25 minutes into recording. I'm hoping that maybe I can get it below 20 minutes. Might not be able to, but I wanted to really talk about this. And I just said in the last video, 5 million downloads proves that there are more people playing into the game. There's more people that the string banner just popped up right now for them in their first week of playing, and they don't know what the fuck it is. They have no idea. They don't know if it's good or not, and they're probably like, Bathory's the best unit. They see Bathory right there, and they have like the beginning ZEUZ, right? That all that beautiful honeymoon period ZEUZ, and they're spending it on that, and they're like, dude, this seems like a ripoff. And then they go back and they look at the other banners like, well, I already did 19 summons. Shouldn't I have just put 19 into this character? 19 summons into this character instead? And then you see the Muse and it's like, wait, I'm really not advancing my account. Then again, you end up with Bathory at the end. Is it worth it? Is it worth it not getting all those Muse and then, but you're gonna, I don't know, it's like you're gonna keep playing anyway. I guess unless you hate the game, you're gonna keep playing anyway. So you'll eventually get that stuff anyway. Like it's really, it's really hard. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, really comment. I really am very interested in this. If you also want to see my MFO episode that's coming up to a week, I'm going to do a UFO where I look into the comments. Different from this video, but I'm going to look into the comments and do a video on the comments of that video. That's actually speaking on gacha games as a whole. And then eventually I'm going to do another episode. It's going to be something weekly for now. I want to do it weekly so I can gauge it properly anyway. But anywho, cards are popping up everywhere. Just remember that every day at the casino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.